Hey, what's up? I hope you're all having a good day or night, depending on where you are or what time you're watching this right now. So, it is officially Halloween. So, you know, best holiday ever. Officially can say Happy Halloween to you. Um, it's great. It's very awesome. Very excited. And usually I film my videos like a day in advance, so where it wouldn't be like Halloween for me yet, it would be like the 30th, but it actually is Halloween for me right now because I'm filming this at like 1:50 in the morning, so it is Halloween for me as well. So I'm very much excited. I'm planning on going to a party plus watching a few more horror movies because I'm doing that one horror movie every day for October thing, and so I only got one more movie to watch. Don't know what it's gonna be yet, but I'll figure it out. Got plenty to choose from. There are millions and trillions of horror movies out there. So I think I'll be able to find one. But anyway, tonight I wanted to do a third Halloween related video or scary themed, like adjacent type of video. And so I thought of doing like a role play where I do like the kidnapper mask and all that, but I've already done that before. I want to do something different. And so I thought it would be cool if I used my horror movie knowledge. And I think it's safe to say I have a good amount of horror movie knowledge since I've seen like, roughly 330 of them. I'd say I got like, a good idea of how they usually go. So I thought it would be a good idea to share my knowledge on Halloween, to share with you about how to survive a horror movie. And that's just not like a slasher or anything. This is like almost any horror movie scenario, okay? I've seen them all, whether it be a slasher, a demonic possession, a break-in, a psychopath, something taking over your brain, an alien, a killer doll, a killer clown, even killer puppets or possessed like trees. The combinations and possibilities are endless, but there is always a way to survive. So you're in luck. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. Well, you need to just sit back, relax, and take notes, unless you're also equally already informed as I am, in which case you're good to go. But seeing as it is Halloween, you should probably be prepared just in case. I'm sure you'll be fine, but can never be too careful. Okay, so there will be like no-brainer things you need to know. Number one, never say, "I'll be right back." Just like, I'm blanking on his name, but the dude in Scream, that let everybody know how to survive a horror movie. To say, "I'll be right back" is basically putting yourself in a coffin. So don't say that, because we all know you won't be right back. And if you are right back, then you become a suspect. Because how'd you do that? Something's up. Something is up. Speaking of being a suspect, don't trust anyone. Don't trust anyone, not even your friends. We've learned that time and time again. There's a killer on the loose. Could easily be your friends. Could easily be your boyfriend or girlfriend. It could even be your parents. You might not be a target, but your parents could be the killers. Don't trust anyone. me, the killer, and you're watching this just to see, like, how people might try to avoid you. In which case, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but the bad guy rarely wins. But there has been a time or two where the bad guy does in fact win, but that is rarely the case in like a standard slasher or break-in type of horror movie. So good luck if that's you. I wouldn't bet on it though. Also, if you're in like a group of friends, if you're in a friend group and you're going to be going somewhere for like a vacation, like a cabin in the woods, or hiking, or cave diving, or I don't know, boarding a space shuttle into space or whatever, or going to like a summer camp, renting an Airbnb, whatever it may be, if it's a vacation with a group of friends, you need to identify what role you play in this friend group, okay? If you're like, so there's like the jockey type, the comedic relief, the final girl or guy. We've learned there can be a final guy now. Or like, you know, a total freaky freak who likes to get down and dirty whenever they possibly can. Or a weirdo, could be a weirdo. Or the new guy or girl who just joined the friend group, or you got picked up on the side of the road. No matter what the case is, you need to figure out what your role is, okay? And if it is anything other than like the most quiet person in the group or the most respectable person in the group, if you have any role other than that, you need to change that ASAP. Either find a different friend group or stay. Just like say, not feeling like a trip this time, and stay away. Don't go on the trip. Stay home. Wire your brain to be able to be the respectable type instead of like the jockey or comedic relief type. You will not make it with those skills, okay? If you're a jock and big and buff, you might think you stand a chance. And who knows, you could get a few good hits in. But we've seen it plenty of times, like with Brandon, Bugsy, that boxer dude in Friday the 13th in Jason Takes Manhattan. He thought he was, you know, hot stuff, and he was a good fighter. Even hit Jason, like actually punched him in the face. He actually managed to stagger Jason Voorhees with just his hands. Until Jason got tired of just playing around. Bugsy got in like, I don't know, 10 hits or something, just punching Jason. And then Jason hit back. Jason hit back one time and quite literally knocked Brandon Bugsy Wilson's block off. He knocked his block off right away. Total decapitation just with a punch. So if you're the jock, still, I recommend changing your ways. Yeah, like I said, don't trust anyone. Even if, like, you are in this friend group and you are the respectable type. And even if you've seen the killer firsthand, even when your friends are around, still don't trust them. Still do not trust them. There can always be more than one killer. Or even if there isn't and they're not in on it, they can always slow you down and risk your survival. Say you're the respectable character, and then you're stuck with the comedic relief character, and got to the boat, ripped it apart. Or the killer, I don't know, got to the radio, smashed it, no calling for help. If somebody gets injured, don't let them slow you down. Just get them somewhere safe real quick. Tell them to shut up and stay hidden. If you just let them limp along with you, then you're just killing both you and your friend. Both of you are done for. Okay. I'm sorry to say, but it's true. But you gotta survive. That means cutting your losses. It's a tough game, but you gotta play it right. Speaking of games, if you find yourself in a Saw movie, easiest way to survive that is don't be messed up. Don't be an idiot. Don't be mean. Don't do something stupid to get yourself into one of those traps. Anybody who's ever been in a Saw trap has been in it for a reason. It's been because they've made a big mistake in their life. An unforgivable mistake. There have been a few times where it got pretty close to where what the person did. Anybody could have made that mistake, and clearly they have remorse for it, but it didn't matter. They're still in the Saw trap. There have, of course, been moments like that, but for the most part, it's been people who messed up pretty bad and did not own up to it until it was too late. But, sorry. Like I said, it's 1:50 in the morning. I'm a little tired. But if it's too late and you get put in a Saw trap, don't worry. You're not totally screwed. But your chances are very slim. Okay? Okay, so in these Saw traps, you can confess. Okay? You gotta confess. And then you get a chance to survive. Here's the thing with those movies and those traps. So many people in these Saw traps have an ultimatum or decision to make. Whether it be cutting off your own fingers to be able to pull out your hand and hit a button to stop a trap from coming in and actually ending you. Or cutting off your own leg to stop someone from cutting off your head. A lot of the times there has to be a choice to cause an insane amount of pain to yourself by cutting off a limb or something in order to save yourself from dying. And you would think that's a no-brainer. Obviously you would rather lose a leg than your life. However, people in these movies really struggle with that decision. Nobody wants to actually cut off their own leg in order to in the moment. They start doing it and then they realize, oh wait, this hurts, and then they stop. If you find yourself in that situation, do not stop. Okay? Just, you need to keep in mind that if you don't keep going, that giant saw blade is going to fly right into your head, or that giant hammer, and that giant hammer over there going to smash right there. Or that vat of acid is suddenly you are suddenly gonna drop into that vat of acid if you don't cut off your arm and pull the rope to stop you from tripping in. No matter what it is, cut off your arm, whatever. Do what you gotta do to survive, okay? Don't dilly-dally for 2 minutes of your 3-minute timer trying to beg for forgiveness and mercy and just to be let go. That is another thing these characters do all the time. You need to just be okay, so you're telling me I gotta cut off my leg, and then dig around in my leg stump to find a key to unlock these restraints so I get away from this laser shooting into my brain. Fine, let's do this. That's what you need to do. You need to be ready to go, because trying to beg for mercy, it's never worked. It's not going to work for you. Suck it up. fight back. You're not gonna win that. At least in close range. Don't even try it. Don't even think about attempting to fight them at close range. You'll not win that. But if you have like a gun or a bow and arrow or something, take your shot. It'll stun them. It will not kill them. It'll never kill them, but it could stun them. And once you do that, they'll be knocked out for a little bit. And then that is when you need to make your getaway, or even better, double tap. That is such a key element in surviving, is double tapping the enemy. Don't make the mistake of, knocking them out and then dropping your weapon and running away like you just survived. That is beyond stupid, okay? There have been times when like a character like shot the bad guy and then dropped the gun and ran off. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? You're stupid. They're obviously gonna be back, because they've been back before and you've seen them come back before. Why would it be any different just because you're the one that hit them this time? It's not gonna be different. So, with Jason and Michael, your best bet is to like shoot them from far away, and then if you happen to be close to your getaway, go ahead and take it. Or if not, tie them up, try and drown them or sink them, or trap them inside somewhere that's burning, or just go crazy with them, at them with a machete, because once they're knocked out, then you can get in close. Just do it enough to where it's gonna take an entire, it's gonna take the next installment for the bad guy to come back. It's gonna take the next movie for them to get back, or at least a few scenes or something for them to get back, to where you have plenty of time to finally get out of there. Now, with characters like Chucky or Leatherface or Ghostface. Ghostface is just a human. It's just a person. Sure, they're pretty quick, but just like with Jason and Michael, you know what's faster? A gun, a crossbow, a bow and arrow. It's all it takes. It is all it takes. You don't even need a double tap. Well, depending on where you aim right there. No need for a double tap. If you hit him like in the side, don't let them get away. Okay, chase them down. Don't shoot them and see that you hit them and be like, oh good, I hit them. Let me tend it to my friend who got slightly cut with the knife. Don't do that. Instead, once you see that you hit them and they start limping away, just look at your friend real quick and make sure they're doing good, and just be like, you okay? Okay, good. Keep pressure on that thing. And then book it right after the killer and put them down, okay? not just slashers, not just like paranormal movies, any horror movie ever, the most obvious thing to do is to just leave. Don't stick around. If you sense something is off, then buddy, chances are something is wrong, okay? Don't stick around. Book it out of there. I know that's obvious. That's like the first thing you need to remember. If something seems off, something's probably off. So turn around and go. Now, with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, if you're already there, chances are the creepy gas station guy's in on it, or the sheriff is in on it, and they're not going to help you get out of there. You're stranded. So, best thing you can do is hitchhike. Hitch right out of there. But if you end up getting captured, Leatherface is very easily manipulated, okay? Play into his emotions. Hopefully, you're a girl. And, Leatherface is kind of, more easily manipulated by girls. In fact, when it comes to dudes, it don't really stand much of a chance of manipulating him then, to be honest. Best chance there is to, I would say fight him, but Leatherface, even without the chainsaw, he's a big dude, okay? He's big. So, just hide with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Luckily, there are lots of wheat fields or abandoned houses or buildings or cars. Plenty of areas to hide, okay? And be very quiet. Crawl. Don't crouch or anything. Just crawl. Take it nice, slow, and steady, okay? And also with the Sawyer family, that's Leatherface's family, by the way, is the Sawyer, yeah, family. They tend to argue, so if you can, start some beef between them, and they'll get to yelling at each other very quick to where they don't even look at you. Take that moment to pull yourself out of any rope restraints or whatever, and then start crawling away, okay? Don't try and attack. There's too many of them. That won't work. Just sneak out, okay? And then, like I said, try and hitch a ride as soon as possible. Or steal one of their cars, because the oldest son is the sheriff. So steal his car. Now, also with a character like Jason, you can also kind of play into his emotions by here. I have his mask. You can if you manage to get the mask off of him, it's kind of like a 50-50 chance of being more screwed or being safe a little bit. Take off his mask, he might go into a blinding rage and just charge at you to get it back. Or he might just kind of be dazed a bit and be like, my mask is gone. And then he'll get all kind of slower and stuff, just because he don't like how he looks. He doesn't like it. And so you can also call him out on it. Say Jason, and just kind of talk to him, and that works. Or if you resemble his mother in any way, Pamela Voorhees, you struck gold, okay? Play into that more than anything else. He will listen. Just pretend to be his mom. Might be tough. your chance to, like, I don't know, knock him into the water, cut him up with something, burn him, stop him somehow, and then get out as fast as you can. You need, if you do that, if you play into a horror movie character's emotions like that, you need to be ready to have an escape plan, because it will not work forever. Eventually they'll snap out of it, and they'll come at you, okay? And when that moment comes, you need to be ready to either strike with everything you got, or book it with everything you got, because you're gonna have to move quick after that, okay? Just remember that, though. You can't play into some of their emotions, but not with all of them. Not with characters like this. Not with Chucky, not with Charles Lee Ray. With Chucky, it's different. You can't really play into his emotions because, well, I mean, he isn't exactly he doesn't really act childish. He's not like a child at heart, like Leatherface might be, or how Jason kind of is. He is a grown psychopath killer, okay, that possessed a doll. So, with Chucky, your best chance, with Chucky, your best chance is to play along, to just play along with him, okay, like, kind of just, hopefully, you would be a kid in this scenario, and he would try and, like, attach himself to you, and manipulate you, to do what he tells you to do. Don't fall for that. It's a talking doll. That's a red flag, okay? Don't listen. If you do, that's your problem. You're screwed. But just don't ignore him, or play that to your advantage, and eventually there'll be a moment of opportunity to strike, and you gotta take it. You have to take your chances. If you get a chance, you gotta take it with these movies, no matter what the chance is, to strike, or to run, to get help, whatever it is. You have a chance. Don't miss it, because you don't get many of them. Just ask literally any victim in any horror movie ever. They had their chance. They didn't take it, or they did, and they missed it pretty bad. Now, but yeah, with Chucky, luckily he is just a doll. Dolls can be broken pretty easily, so fire, acid, a gun, paper shredder, hydraulic press. It's really your prerogative, okay? Do what you gotta do. Just destroy the doll, okay? He'll be back. They always come back, obviously. Just be prepared when he does. And try and get some proof, because they will put you in an asylum for saying that there's a talking doll after you. Alright, just ask Andy. He got put in there, and then Chucky still came after him. I mean, they came after him when he was, like, locked up. He couldn't go anywhere, and he just saw Chucky coming at him, and he couldn't go anywhere. It's pretty scary for, like, a 6-year-old. Or 5, I don't know, however old he was in the first one. But just destroy him, it ain't that hard. He's fast, though. I'll admit that. He's fast and he's quiet. He can't be quiet unless he's, cracking jokes or yelling. But, with Chucky, it's a bit easier. As long as you got your eyes on him, just, bunt kick him or whatever you gotta do. And then, like I said, do what you gotta do to destroy him. Temporarily destroy him, I should say. And, that's something else. or just move far, 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 far away. Far from, like, Crystal Lake. Jason won't leave Crystal Lake. He cares more about staying close to home than he does getting revenge. Same with Michael. If you're anybody but Laurie Strode, you should be okay. If you survive, just instantly get yourself away from Laurie as fast as you can, and just forget about it, okay? Now there's another slasher I haven't really talked about. Freddy Krueger. Honestly, they kind of went over the best way to survive pretty well in those movies. Stay awake. Seems impossible after a few days, but you gotta stay awake to figure out a game plan to figure out how to fight back in your dream. Look at Dream Warriors. They were dreaming. They just basically powered themselves up and just whooped him in their own dreams. And it worked. It didn't work the entire time, but it worked somewhat. Now, outside of slashers, like with Pennywise, we all know how to defeat him, bully him. Probably the easiest way any bad guy has ever been defeated, just by getting bullied. Just get past the fact that he's terrifying, and you realize, just be mean back, and he's done for. And now, apart from that, when it comes to possession movies, there is just such an obvious rule and way to survive those movies, to where you don't even have to worry about running or hiding or fighting or calling for help or anything, because nothing's ever gonna come for you if you just follow this one rule. And that is, if there is Latin anywhere at all, don't read it. Don't read the Latin. Don't read any Latin whatsoever. It is 9 times out of 10 there to summon something. Just look at Evil Dead, the Necronomicon. So, if you see a book like this, just don't even open it. Don't even bother opening it. And, yeah, just ignore that. And, that's pretty much it for that. Just ignore the Latin. Don't read the Latin. And now, if you're in a haunted house scenario, in that case, in those situations, just leaving will usually work. Just leave. Get out. Simple as that. If it follows you, figure out why. Figure out why it's following you. Could be because of you, could be because of someone you're attached to or that you're with. If that's the case, get away from them. Duh. Or if they are after you, figure out why. Once again, could be a family lineage type of thing. In which case, contact an ancestor. Overall, contact an exorcist. Get a priest. But that's obvious. Let's see, what other kinds of movies are there? Psychological ones. This one's pretty also obvious. If someone is acting weird and strange, there's no problem in just saying, okay, I've had enough, I'm out of here. There's been multiple times to where the reason somebody gets victimized by a psychopath is simply because the victim was too nice and didn't realize that they needed to just shut it down and leave. If they did that, they would have been fine. But if it is too late and you get, I don't know, kidnapped or locked up or imprisoned, usually, like I mentioned before, playing to their emotions, playing along, that'll get you a long way with the psychopaths, okay? Do what they want you to do until they're comfortable enough with you to, like, unchain you or to, like, take off the cuffs or whatever they got holding you down. Once you're free to roam, use that. Don't jump the gun, though. Don't, like, as soon as they let you go, don't attack and get out. That won't work. The doors will be locked, or they'll have traps. They will be prepared for that, okay? In fact, that might be a test. Don't do that. Instead, get a lay of the land. Figure out where everything is, any escape exits, any weapons or whatever. Like, look at Black Phone. Finney, once he was free to go, he, like, realized the doors open, but the ghost boys told him, don't go up there. He's expecting that, so he didn't. And just slowly but surely he figured out his escape plan, and he got the weapon, and he planned for it. He planned, he waited, and he planned, and it worked. Have patience with that, with psychopaths, and getting locked up. Just have patience, and just play along until it's finally go time, okay? Now, with any other movies that involve, like, a loved one changing or getting possessed, like Evil Dead Rise, where the mom got possessed and became a deadite, or in The Shining, where Jack became deranged, you need to accept as fast as possible, need to accept the fact that the person you once knew, they ain't coming back. They're gone. I'm sorry to say, but that ain't them anymore. The lights are on, but nobody's home in their head. Well, somebody's home, but it ain't them. So, the sooner you accept that, the better. The better for you and anyone else that needs to survive, okay? Either leave them behind, or, do what you gotta do to them. Meaning, and then you're good to go, okay? It's gonna be tough, but like I said, they're long gone, and they're not coming back. There are a few cases where they can come back, but it's rare. Usually it's too late, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Just think, that person that they used to be, they would want you to survive, wouldn't they? Yeah, they would. Okay. Well, I think that covers a good wide range of horror movie scenarios. I know there's obviously some that I didn't cover, but I got the most popular ones done, I think, like possession, haunted houses, slashers, craziness. Oh, zombie apocalypse. That one kind of depends on the type of zombies you're dealing with. If it's like Walking Dead zombies, you're good. It's easy to survive those. If it's like zombies from, like, I Am Legend, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. You do what you can. It's gonna be rough. I am not the best expert when it comes to those movies, though, because I am not into those types of horror movies as much, so I haven't seen nearly as many of those as I have the other ones. So I would go to somebody else for knowledge about monster or zombie movies like that. But overall, the overall investigate. If there's a sound, don't go looking. If you see a shadowy figure, get out of the house. Don't even go look. Just take what you gotta get, and just leave. And yeah, just leave. If depending on the movie and depending on the situation, if you can leave, do it. Like I said, take that moment of opportunity because you will not get it again. Take it and book it. Get out of that movie and you're good. So yeah, just don't investigate, and if you get a chance to leave, take it. That is the key and most obvious thing to survive any horror movie ever. Just leave or don't investigate. But if you get sucked into it, just follow any other thing I talked about today. Like play along with the killer or crazy person's ideas, or just, wait until the right moment to strike or run away, or get an exorcist over as soon as possible, anything like that. Hopefully now you know how to handle it. But anyway, happy Halloween. I hope you enjoyed this. I always enjoy talking about horror movie stuff, and I feel like during Halloween it's a bit more justifiable to do it so much as I have. So yeah, anyway, again, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all are feeling much more relaxed and sleepy compared to before you clicked on this video. I hope you learned something. Please tell me you learned something, or else I don't want to see you on a kill count, okay? But anyway, I hope you all have a great rest of your day or night. And yeah, just let me know how you liked it. And again, can't say it enough. Happy Halloween. I hope it goes great. Let me know what you're gonna dress up as. Let me know what you're gonna do, whether it's go trick or treating, go to a party, whatever it may be. I hope you have a great day today, a great spooky day. And yeah, let me know if you agree with what I said. And by all means, there's plenty more to be said to survive. So if you have something, go ahead and add it down below if you want. You can never have enough useful methods to survive these movies, right? So anyway, that's enough yapping for me for tonight. I will see you all in the next one. Okay, thank you again.